Okay, thank you for joining us on the stage. First question for Mr. Rebernik. You and Professor Jaklic have analyzed key factors of the startup ecosystem and wrote them down in the Startup Manifest. Can you please present the key findings and guidelines for the next course of action?
Yeah, welcome everybody. Well, the data showed that Slovenia is not very strong in the technology part of the economy. So we have like 2 to 3% of, let's say, technology-based firms, which are really not as much competitive as there are foreign other competitors. And that we have a lot of talent, we have a lot of human resources, strong human resource, but we are actually weak in converting this knowledge that we've got into products that could win the market, or they could bring some profit. For example, we have a very comparable research system with Austria, but our companies, they produce like half of the value added of the Austrian companies. And then on the other hand, we have a startup ecosystem which has started to grow very fast in the last 2 to 3 years. And according to the study done by Hugo VC, we had in October 2013, we have like 150 startup companies employing altogether like 1,400 employees. And up to now, according to that study, the startup has obtained already some $50 million of investment. And since 2007, like 10 startup companies were sold for, some kind of joint value estimated about $30 million. And in the last 2 years, we have a lot of Slovenian startups that basically in almost all the best accelerators in Europe and in the United States, we had some Slovenian companies. And Slovenian startups are very successful in these crowdfunding platforms. So we have two sides of a story. On one hand is, less developed technology industry. On the other hand, we have new, growing, flourishing startups. And so obviously something has to be done. So colleague Jaklic and me, and together, with all the friends and colleagues from ecosystem, we put down the Startup Manifest, whose main goal is to set some guidelines what to do that we could exploit this potential and set up some best practice, because this is not a nuclear science. This is basically just have to follow what the best accelerators in Europe or United States are doing. So this is basically guidelines. Take care of the talent, take care of the commercialization, make services that can be comparable to the best accelerators.
Thank you. You are also leading the Slovenian research team of Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, which is the largest ongoing global entrepreneurship research. What is the data saying about the position of Slovenia in Europe compared to the rest of the world?
Well, the good news is that the majority of European entrepreneurs go into business because they want to exploit opportunity. The good news is that they are basically well internationalized compared to the rest of the world. The bad news is that young people don't go into entrepreneurship, that entrepreneurial scene is getting older and older. And for Europe is specifically characteristic fear of failure, which is basically one of the main ingredients of entrepreneurship. You cannot succeed if you don't fail. But in Europe, basically in this German, Austrian area where Slovenia is basically failure is stigmatized. Specifically for Slovenia, it is the most critical characteristic is that the share of young entrepreneurs, specifically of young educated entrepreneurs, is basically far the lowest, which would say in numbers that in the structure of all entrepreneurs, we have like 7% of entrepreneurs in the age bracket from 25 to 34, while Europe has about 13% and the other all GEM countries have about 25%. So it's just clear something has to be done. Something has to be done to attract those young, educated people to form the company so that they can lead this technology progress in the future.
So we have some challenges left ahead of us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lesjak, for more than 20 years you have been acting as the director of Technology Park Ljubljana, which is the largest institution for supporting high-tech entrepreneurship. There are more and more stories of Slovenian entrepreneurs packing their bags and leaving for incubators and accelerators abroad. Can you present a practical plan and program for standing side by side with the global hubs?
Yeah. Thank you for giving me opportunity and for inviting me and for organizing this event. It is so that for sure we are witnessing the outgoing of young entrepreneurs. It is to be competitive. And it is also true that we already 2 years are working on this to win, let's say, or to take care about new talents that are coming. And it was already designed and the decision made at the first meeting in the, it was in the guest house here in Maribor, that we will design a destination. The Slovenia, it is in the former part of Yugoslavia or to Southeast Europe, already a kind of destination for forever. And we would like to be on this hype. And this is the reason why we are working on 3 pillars, similar as our strategy. The first pillar is for talents, okay, idea carriers, giving them the tools and instructing them in developing a good business plan and a good business model. The second pillar is the startup, working with the already new established company, with finance, with infrastructure, with mentoring. And the third one is internationalization, like in special in our strategy. Go global, giving them the network, working with society, connecting the new startups with existing companies in the society, helping them to manage, let's say, the world market.
So we have a clear plan. Now all we have to do is step together and step on the gas, right?
That's true.
Okay.
We are working this already for 2 years, what I'm saying. You know? And you mentioned this 10,000 hours, and I'm sure that we are coming from this environment, and we are having enough experience to be, let's say, the best one, at least in this region.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jose, you work in South and North America and then moved to Slovenia. Do you think that the Slovenia has a chance of attracting foreign talent into Slovenia like hubs abroad are doing?
Definitely. First of all, I came back from America to Slovenia because I wanted to have a great quality of life. I wanted to live in an environment where peace is everywhere around. I actually went to live to Noršinci, so that's in Prekmurje, right? So it's a wonderful place where you can find land very cheap and enjoy of the Slovenian life and the Slovenian šunka. And I'm very happy because we are 2 from Prekmurje here. And okay. That's one of the things that I'm finding out here. I'm coming up to discover that Slovenia is a country of entrepreneurs. And I start feeling that we are making the jump from pessimism to proactivity. And that's just fantastic news, right? We are starting to define what means the new Slovenia, what means the new Slovenian, and entrepreneurship is in the heart of it.
Great, fantastic. Thank you. Tilen, You founded a company in Great Britain. A part of your team also actively works there. How do your colleagues feel abroad, and what is so attractive and better in a foreign country? And what could we learn from this environment?
Okay, just a small correction. I wasn't actually the co-founder. I'm one of the more active employees. But then again, we, almost by chance, with some help from the guys from Zamenta, stumbled upon our first UK-based project, in which we did the very untypical Slovenian way thing to do, and that is we offered the potential client something completely different than he asked for, because we believed it was a better thing. That actually opened us the door to UK, and with a lot of testing and validating the market there, we finally concluded that the UK is actually the only viable market for our type of services to be. So we actually went to the UK out of necessity, because it was the closest large enough market for us.
Okay. You also participated in the process of translating the book Running Lean into the Slovenian language. How important do you find the fact that we are hosting such a superstar as Ash here in Slovenia, and that his work is translated into the Slovenian language?
I think that the translation of this book is important for two reasons. The first one, it will help combat our lack of self-confidence by giving us a framework that is sure to provide each entrepreneur when he starts results. And we all, that Slovenians, always like to have some proof, some document in their hands that we are at least a little bit successful. So that will boost self-confidence. The other thing, why I think this is important, is because of the vocabulary that it's used, and it's also been painstakingly translated. There's some funny words like startup is translated Startnik. We'll see if that holds on, but the point is we wanted to destigmatize entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship in Slovenia, like it was said before, is something that has a little bit of a bad connotation, and the aim of this book is also to change that.
Cool. And also this book will be available in the conference, so you can take a look at it and also buy it. Thank you, Tilen. And Mr. Rebernik, as a professor of entrepreneurship, how would you evaluate the importance of the translations for you as a professor?
Oh, basically, I'm delighted, and congratulations to all the undertaking, because we actually don't have much of a literature in Slovenian language on entrepreneurship, which would not be a problem if the law on higher education would not have would not say that we have to teach strictly in Slovenian language. Yes, you can do it, and the literature has to be in Slovenian language, which basically makes it very hard, at least in the first years of the study. So I will definitely use this book in my process of teaching entrepreneurship. And the second one I think is very important is the vocabulary, is the terminology, because if there is no reality, there is no terms to be used, there is no words. So the words has to be invented. Like Harry Potter, they has to invent it, a lot of new words. So congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. If I may, this is the first translation of the Running Lean book that is actually free, and many thanks to Isa and Samuel Ogin who made that possible.
Great. A big applause. Thank you.